so much. Thank you. I am very glad to be Harvard. A little bit, but that's Harvard. Not only for being a diplomat in the United States, but more importantly for being a resident of Samaria and the former chairman of the Council of
I am against corruption and people who really want to help, but I love
Чекаємо на вас. We are waiting for you guys. There is a little Ukrainian group and Americans who came here all the way to Mar-a-Lago to show support for Ukrainian president and for the peace effort.
Right now, the most serious corruption of American foreign policy ever is being talked about inside the Trump administration. It's being described as a peace plan to end the Russian war in Ukraine. But if you look at the details, it has nothing to do with peace. It is a business deal to make the people around Donald Trump rich. It's just corruption through and through. Let me tell you the story. According to the Wall Street Journal, last month, Vladimir Putin sent the head of his sovereign wealth fund to negotiate an end to the Ukraine war with Steve Witkoff, who is one of Trump's billionaire buddies, also one of his national security advisors. They met in Miami Beach. Jared Kushner was there too. Putin didn't send his foreign minister, and this is important. He sent his business deals guy, the guy who controls the billions of money that are produced by Russia's oil operations. Why do you do that? Because he knows that the way you get Trump's people to agree to sell out Ukraine is to offer up a deal to make Trump's billionaire friends even richer. Here are some of the examples. ExxonMobil right now is in secret discussions with Rosneft, that's Russia's largest state energy company, about a massive gas project in Russia's Far East, something that can only happen if the war is over and sanctions on the company are lifted. Rich Trump donors are right now trying to get in on the action as well. One donor just recently paid hundreds of thousands of dollars to a lobbyist that's really close to Trump's inner circle to try to buy the Nord Stream 2 pipeline. That's a Russian gas pipeline. Once again, something that is only possible for these investors to get rich on if the war is over and the US lifts its sanctions. Another close Trump associate is in talks about acquiring a stake in a Russian Arctic gas project. So that's what Trump's billionaire friends get. But what does Ukraine get? Nothing. Nothing. This deal sells out Ukraine. In fact, this deal would require Ukraine to give to Russia territory that Russia doesn't even currently control. It provides amnesty for all of the war crimes that Putin has committed. It creates no real security guarantees for Ukraine moving forward. This peace deal is a disaster for Ukraine, but it frankly shows how savvy Vladimir Putin is. He knows the way to get to Donald Trump and Steve Witkoff. Pay them off, pay their friends off, do favors for their billionaire crowd. And if you do that, then they're prepared to sell out Ukrainian security, European security, and American national security. This is a terrible deal for Ukraine, but it's a great deal for Trump and Witkoff's billionaire buddies.
Hey, John Hickenlooper here. We just finished an oversight visit here on the ICE detention facility in Aurora. We met with two young sisters. One is 18, still in high school. The other's 20, has a full scholarship at community college. About a month ago, DHS sent these two young women a letter requesting they appear for a routine check-in as they seek asylum. When they showed as instructed, ICE officers immediately arrested them. Now, this is the kind of cruelty we're seeing across Colorado and across the country. These young women have no criminal record. They both have active asylum claims. They're students here in Colorado. They have a parent who is a U.S. citizen and a veteran in the Navy. They've been in detention for over a month. Thanksgiving, now it looks like they're gonna miss Christmas. They're sitting in a cell instead of working in school. President Trump is spending billions of dollars to arrest people with no criminal history, while so many people struggle to afford their groceries and their rent and their health care. So we're gonna do everything we can to get the release of these two young women. This administration wants to intimidate us and intimidate them, and we're not going to let them. We're going to keep fighting.
I'm a U.S. citizen. I'm a U.S. citizen. I'm a U.S. citizen.
That was a video of Christian Jimenez, a 17-year-old high school student who was detained by ICE during his lunch break last Friday. When he told the officers he was a United States citizen, they broke the window and detained him anyways, saying, "I don't care, you're a citizen." The Trump administration has unleashed masked ICE agents into our communities. They are violently abducting our friends and our neighbors, young people who have committed no crime. We saw it in Massachusetts when Marcelo Gomes da Silva was detained on his way to volleyball practice in Milford. And we saw it again last week when a Babson College student named Amy was surrounded, handcuffed, and deported on her way home to visit her parents in Texas. We are no longer just on the path to authoritarianism. We are living in that world, and we must continue to resist it each and every day. End the ICE abductions, end Trump's campaign of fear, end fascism now.
One thing I think everybody can agree on is Dozing Donnie's administration here does so much on a daily basis, it can be hard to keep up with it all. It's hard for me to decide what I should make videos about. I don't want to be making 12 videos a day. So I have to pick and choose what I think is important. And when there's so many big headline-grabbing stories, it makes me start wondering, like, what's slipping through the cracks that we're missing? So I want to talk about a crack slip. This is a post from the Department of Homeland Security on Twitter. Become a Homeland Defender today. This was their Thanksgiving post. Homeland Defender sounds weird. We're not under attack. And when you start looking at other posts, help deport them, help arrest them. And then this one sort of jumped out at me. The fight for Western civilization is getting started. The fight for Western civilization. Who's attacking Western civilization? Homeland Defender, Western civilization. This starts sounding like a certain group that once caused a war of the world. And people go like, oh, don't fearmonger. Don't sensationalize. Don't make a mountain out of a molehill with this. Let me show you one more tweet. This tweet, the stakes have never been higher. The goal has never been more clear. Remigration now. What is remigration? What does that word mean? Have you heard the word or the term remigration before? Community Notes decided to come in clutch. Remigration is a European far-right concept of ethnic cleansing via the mass deportation of non-white minority populations, especially immigrants, and sometimes including those born in Europe and holding European citizenship, to their place of racial ancestry. The Department of Homeland Security used a term that means this. This is literal white supremacist jargon. This is literally pushing for white supremacy. And when you see that and mix in Homeland Defender and things like Western civilization, it's no longer fear-mongering. It's no longer seeing something that isn't there. They aren't even hiding it anymore. Our government has been co-opted. And we cannot allow this to continue.
This is truly life or death. We have an administration that is not only killing people, but is a dream killer right now. That is not the best of America. We are here because we care. I know so many people are frustrated and don't believe in politicians, but let me tell you that it takes real courage in this moment to stand up. And that is why we stand with and behind your mayor, because she knows what it is to be under attack by this administration. We understand that to be elected nowadays isn't just about service. It literally is life or death if you decide that you want to do what is right. So let me tell you, we are standing with your elected leaders because they are protecting the people from their own federal government that is dishing out death. And when I say that, I don't say it lightly. I say it because the numbers bear it out. I say it because we have a record number of people that have passed away in ICE custody. This is not the best of America. I know someone promised that they would make America great. I am telling you that they are doing just the opposite. I am telling you that we are a land of immigrants. It is time to do immigration right. It is time to make sure that we live up to the promise of this country. The idea that someone ran and said that I will get rid of the bad guys, yet we know more than 50% of the people that are currently being detained in custody have no criminal records at all. Zero, nada. So tell me why you are taking those people out of their communities. They are our neighbors, they are our friends, and frankly, they contribute to the fabric of this country. They are what make this country great, not your thuggish ICE agents who literally are spitting on our Constitution, as well as everything that we think patriotism ought to be. So with that, I want you to know, whether you are in Los Angeles, whether you are in Chicago, whether you are in any city in North Carolina, let me be clear. Democrats, specifically on the Oversight Committee, we got your back. I want you to know that this is about doing what's right. This isn't right or left for us. This is right or wrong. And I am telling you right now, this administration is wrong.
I voted once for Donald Trump in 2016. I fell for the propaganda. I watched Fox News. I've learned that the right-wing media is nothing but a propaganda machine. Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on you. Fool me every damn day, it's a cult.
And for just like the Republican voters, right, across America who maybe feel like, I've always voted Republican, what would you want to say to those folks?
Step over to your nearest mirror, look yourself in the eye, and ask yourself if the principles, the words, the actions, the behaviors of this administration are actually in line with the teachings of Jesus Christ. Jesus would have stood with the vulnerable and marginalized. He would not have deported them. He would not have persecuted them. He would, he literally stood with the prostitutes and the lepers and the poor, and he wasn't out there selling, saying, Peter, let me, I'm not going to do any more miracles unless you, invest in my Jesus meme coin. He was literally serving the poor. Yeah. These people in Washington, D.C. associated with this MAGA GOP, all they're doing is exploiting the poor at the benefit of the billionaires. All of them got to go. Every single sitting Republican in the United States needs to be primaried. What we've seen is an increase of, white supremacy. That's all it is. Point blank, hatred, white supremacy. We got to get these people out of here if we're going to survive this country intact.
There are some guys at Leavenworth who made really bad choices on the battlefield.
No kidding.
And I do think there have to be consequences for abject war crimes. If you're doing something that is just completely unlawful and ruthless, then there is a consequence for that. That's why the military said it won't follow unlawful orders from their commander-in-chief. There's a standard, there's an ethos, there's a belief that we are above what so many things that our enemies or others would do.
You know what? I agree with 2016 Pete Hegseth. And 2025 Pete Hegseth needs to be investigated for possible war crimes. But here's what recent reporting has laid out. Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth ordered a military strike on an alleged drug boat in the Caribbean. Sources say that Hegseth gave an order to kill everybody. While that boat began to burn from that strike, 2 survivors clung to the wreck. The Joint Special Operations Commander reportedly then followed Pete Hegseth's order to kill them all. First off, the Trump administration doesn't have Congress's approval for these military strikes. They are illegal. Second, killing unarmed civilians is a violation of U.S. and international law. Legal experts are saying that this could be a war crime. DOD's own war manual says firing on people who have been shipwrecked, quote, would clearly be illegal. I'm pushing for a full independent investigation into what happened. Hegseth should be investigated for war crimes. He should testify under oath before Congress. We should see all the records. We need real accountability for 2025 Hegseth.
Oh, well. So the mail-order maiden, Melania, was an actual mail-order maiden. Yes, baby. Now, even though I just made up that nickname because it wasn't a far leap to assume that she was a mail-order bride back in the day, the Wayback Machine of the Internet archives, because, baby, the Internet is forever. And if you will remember, Melania Trump actually took fools to court to try to prove that she was not a mail-order maiden. She won her court case because they thought that they had scrubbed the Internet of her face. But baby, thanks to the Internet archives and the Wayback Machine, we now know for a fact that she was a foreign bride, a mail-order maiden. She has a profile in the Internet archives for a foreign affair, a website that is still functioning today that allows people all across the globe to buy and sell women, dear, for companionship or marriage. And of course, her profile shows that she's a 17-year-old because in 33 states in the US of A, it's absolutely legal to marry a child. My. So, there's that, dear. It is a fact today that she was for sale to anybody who was willing to pay. Isn't that something? Daddy really does like buying underage girls.
What grade would you give the president? I think it's hard for a lot of people to take. Look, electric bills have gone up. Everyone's bills have either stayed the same or going higher. Grocery prices have not gone down. Everybody suffered from inflation that happened during the Biden administration. And I think the president needs to be aware that he's a billionaire, president of the United States, and you can't gaslight people and tell them that their bills are affordable. And you can't tell them that the economy is an A+++. You just can't do that. And I think it's insulting to people's intelligence. And I don't care how many charts he wants to throw up. People literally know because they're the ones standing at the checkout counter in a grocery store. Let's be real, President Trump doesn't go to the grocery store and do his own grocery shopping. And they're the ones buying their kids clothes and you know, all kinds of goods and supplies for their families. They're also the small business owners that are struggling to continue their small businesses under tariffs that have made it hard. These are also manufacturing plants that are still struggling under tariffs and trying to work a new trade system and a volatile system. So I would encourage the president.
We have some news right now, horrible economic news for the United States of America again, as according to the Washington Post, bankruptcies in the manufacturing sector soar to the highest levels since the Great Recession between 2007 and 2009. And the reason why is directly correlated to a lot of economic uncertainty. In addition, it's also directly as a result of Donald Trump's tariffs, which he has imposed on numerous countries, hurting businesses here in the United States of America, forcing many construction and manufacturing businesses to declare bankruptcy in 2025. And this number is only set to continue to rise heading into 2026, assuming these tariffs are upheld by the Supreme Court, which it's anyone's guess what happens. But the economic numbers in the United States are as bad as they were back during the Great Recession right now when it comes to bankruptcies and really other economic factors. I'll provide you more updates as we get more information, so spread the word, Follow along for all the news you need to know about.
So Trump is selling Bibles for $60.
Okay.
Is that he's profiting off of selling Bibles? Is that a godly thing to do?
Is it a godly thing for the Democrats to be okay with killing their babies? Is that okay?
I guess you answered my question with another question.
Okay.
Just answer this question. Is it a godly thing to do for Trump to be?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's a business. He's a businessman. That's what this country needs. What do we need?
And if the business is selling the Bible, that's okay?
That's perfectly fine. What are churches doing? When you go to church, don't they ask you for $1? Don't they ask you to do this and that? Churches are businesses. This whole country's a business.
It's time for the Trucker John Livestream. Gonna be a good time. Oh yeah. The Trucker John Livestream. Come along for a good time. It's a good time, good time, good time, good time. Trucker John Livestream. It's gonna be a good time. Gonna be the time of your life. Gonna talk some shit. Hush your mouth. Gonna talk a little smack. Gonna talk whatever comes of it. You're gonna always wanna come back. Well, yeah, it's the Trucker John Livestream. He's the biggest, baddest, funniest mother you've ever seen. Watch your mouth, he's headed south. Not even sure what that means, but if it's one thing I know, the Trucker John Livestream is the best thing you've ever seen.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the moment you've been waiting for. Trucker John.
Good morning. Good morning. Am I on? Let's see here. Testing. 1, 2, 3. Let's see. Come on, John. Hurry up. There we go. Good morning, everybody. It's 11:40 a.m. in the Pacific time zone. Currently sitting at a temperature of 59 degrees here in the outskirts of Las Vegas, out on Boulder Highway. And we have a daytime high expected to be 63 degrees, the overnight low of 39. It's getting nippy out there at nighttime. Well, let me tell you. Thanks, everybody, for being here. We have the House Sparks raid going. I know we've lost over 141 people during that intro, so apparently the intro sucks. I don't know. And I'm not able to go back to the beginning of the chat. I did see Jolie was in there, and Sandy and Paul Burrows. Thank you guys for being the early birds. I don't have any worms to give you. Thank God for that, right? No worms for those early birds. Only just me, I guess. I don't know. But thanks for being here. For coming in and checking us out. I had to wait for the doggone gosh darn that intro to download. And then lo and behold, there y'all were. But thanks for coming in, folks. Let's see, how far can I go? I can go. I'll just pick up here. I got Nola Carnes in here, James Armio, Mad Mac, Nick Rich is here. Hey, Nick, good to see you. We got John Glad. Always glad to see John Glad. I'm always glad to see John Glad. DPD 5844 is here. Michael McAndrews is here. Let's see. Jolie's here. Hello, Jolie. Good to see Jolie. Thank you so much for being here. Danny Pomeroy is here. Aaron West is here. We have Aaron West and Jolie, so you know what that means. La, 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 la. We're at full mod capacity. Full mod capacity. We're at full mod capacity. Okay, enough of that. Bonnie Balcom's here. Hey, Bonnie, good to see you. Thanks for coming on in and hanging out. Teresa TAK is here. Hey, Teresa TAK. Thanks for coming on in. Not to be confused with the TAC. What was that thing that Hal was saying? he did a voice. He voiced the main character there. And I remember that show. I think I remember that show. I guess Johnny Katz. Is Johnny Katz in the house? Johnny Katz in the house. Johnny Katz in the driver's lounge. Thanks for being here. I do appreciate you. DPD 5844 says, I will never understand why President Zelensky continues to meet with Orange pedophile. It would not shock me in the least if the motherfucker were to try and unlive Zelensky during one of his visits. You know what? I thought the same thing. I actually did think the same thing. Like, he better be careful. I wouldn't put it past Trump, try to slip something. Slip him a Mickey. I thought the same exact thing, DPD. Danny Pomeroy says, I was on YouTube watching the podcast in Pecker's game, saw last season also donations was just pouring into his podcast. He was on the news this morning. He donated, I believe, $183,000 to Wisconsin food. So I don't even know if that must be a mid-thread. I have no idea who you're talking about, what you're talking about. So, but I good for him. Good going, I guess. But I'm mid-thread. Ruben Michaels is here. Hey, Ruben, good to see you. Thanks for popping on in. Nick Rich, never trust a fascist. Exactly. Absolutely. Let's see. What else we got in here? We got... Adam. Hey, Adam. Andrea is here. I almost said Adam because it says ADM Flag Girl 38. Thanks, Ad. I will promise. I will try not to call you Adam. Thanks, Andrea. Thanks for being here and hanging out. And I think probably setting up this little raid we had going here. Like I said, everyone's left though. By now, I couldn't keep them. My intro was, I guess, stupid. I don't know. Michael McAndrew is not fun having Nazis in our government. And in case you're wondering what the Tizzy was trying to say without saying it, the word was Nazi. The word was Nazi. By the way, I'm for those of you who are new here, sometimes I eat while doing the show. Sometimes I drop food. Ruben Michaels says ICE has been murdering people in prisons. The last count I heard, it's at least 35 people have died while in ICE custody, in ICE facilities. At least 35, probably more. Probably some of those are U.S. citizens. Certainly, most of them probably have the right to be here or were in the process. They were doing it the right way. Going to court, going to their court dates like they were supposed to, following up, working on getting their visas or an asylum claim, whatever it was. And then the thugs, the ICE thugs, as someone I think said in the chat, grabs them and hauls them off. And at least 35 that we know of, there's probably more, have died while in ICE custody. under the care of ICE, which is one hell of a misnomer, right? Big Hook's here. Hey, Big Hook, good to see you. The Big Canuck. Make America Gestapo again is what MAGA stands for now. Mm-hmm. That tracks. That tracks. It's perfect, Big Hook. Make America Gestapo again. Yeah, totally tracks. When in that Jasmine, when Jasmine Crockett was that portion of the intro, when she said, "Yeah, let's make America great," or no, she said they want to make America great, and it just sort of struck me. I'm like, hey, I could get behind that movement if the movement was about making America great. I could stand behind that. I could be in the MAG movement. Or how about the LMAG of let's make America great? Or let's make America, really good. I don't know. I could stand behind that. But not this MAGA bullshit, which is total white nationalism. It's Nazism. All that crap, all that shit. John Glad says we welcome immigrants, supplying them with jobs and housing. They have become an integral part of America. Give me your huddled masses. It's right there on the Statue of Liberty, for crying out loud. Reuben Michaels reminds us that ICE members have criminal records. Most have been convicted and are felons. Now, I don't know if exactly that's accurate about most or whatever. I don't know. But they have lowered their standards of hiring because no one really wanted to go and do that job until they started offering, $50,000 bonuses, sign-on bonuses, and they started really lowering the requirements. They upped the age, so even someone my age could do it. Could do it, and someone in my level of fitness, which is not very high, could do it. Oh, Teresa is saying happy birthday to Andrea. So happy birthday, Andrea. That's right. I did see that on Facebook, by the way. So happy birthday, Andrea. 007 Kevin's here. Troll Slayer, good to see you. Let's see. We had Christophophone Fantasy was here. Future Patriots million and future Chargers million. Okay. Reuben Michael says Pete Hegseth is a murderer, piece of shit. And I really, really hope that the Major Ojeda is right. Because every day I watch his show, and every day he tells me, he assures me that people like Pete Hegseth and Steve Bannon and Steve Miller and Pam Bondi are going to go to jail. I would prefer they go to prison, but hey, I'll take jail, whatever. He assures me, that if the Democrats take back the House and the Senate, and I guess, and I'm not sure if this is going to happen then or if it's going to have to wait until we have the House and the Senate and the White House. But he assures me that all those folks are going to go to jail. Again, I would prefer prison, but because a jail could just be like, the local Mayberry sheriff's office with the little jail cell, and they throw you in there overnight until you sober up. I want them to go to fucking federal prison. And not the one that Ghislaine Maxwell's going to. I want those motherfuckers going to fucking Leavenworth and shit. You know? Ruben Michaels, this is funny. It says, Hooker Melania can say $50 in 6 languages. I believe that. I believe that one, Michael. Ruben Michaels. They're always saying how, oh, she's so smart. She knows 8 languages or whatever. And I think that's probably the extent of it, Ruben. Is how much money how much money she wants for her services, and to leave it on the dresser on the way out or something. That's probably the extent of her the words that she knows in those different languages. Okay, we got Lisa Hopo is here. Hey, Lisa Hopo, good to see you again. So a lot of these people left. They checked out the show for 2 seconds and said this sucks, and they went and found something else. So I don't know if Lisa's still here or not, but thanks for popping in and saying hi. I do appreciate you. Ruben Michaels, MTG is dumb as a rock, but I did think that she was having a moment of clarity in that clip. She was actually having a moment of clarity, where she was really calling out Trump and how Trump is trying to tell everyone, oh, the economy's fine, grocery prices are down, everything's good. What are you talking about? You know? Comedy Mothership's here. Hey, Comedy Mothership, good to see you. Thanks for popping on in here. Big Hook says, saying the truth, and this is about MTG, saying the truth is not going to convince me you have changed, MTG. You are a racist piece of shit, and we are never going to forget everything that you said and did while in Congress. You are a grifter piece of shit. I agree, Big Hook, I agree. And I really, really, really hope, and God damn it, I forgot the guy's name again. We got a retired, I think he's a admiral, which is basically the equivalent of a general in the Navy, right? I can't remember his name. God damn it. I should have his name, like, you know, plastered all over these walls in here just so I can remember it. But he's going to be running for her in her district. I don't know if she's running again, but that guy's going to be running. And boy, wouldn't it be something if he won? Wouldn't it be something? I haven't seen any polling on that. I don't know how he's doing. But as we get into 2026, we'll be hearing more about him and about that race. Let's see. What is it? Kitty Safaphone Panansi. Pat or Cha equal champion? Champion? Equal champion? I don't know. It's 11:40. Nick Rich says 11:40, so I am 16 minutes behind. I'm 16 minutes behind you, Nick Rich. I'm 16 minutes behind you. I'm only 16 little tiny minutes behind. 16 little minutes behind. Barney Balcom never got an answer why Kimberly Guilfoyle was digging at her crotch. Well, I believe we could draw our own conclusions. I submit that it's crabs, but you know, I don't have facts to back that up. To quote the late great Herman Cain, I don't have any facts to back this up. But I would submit this. She might have had a bad case of crabs. Who knows? An itchy crotch down there that I would not really care to visit. Anna Moore says, TJ, hoping things are working out for you. Thanks for what you do. Thank you. And thank you for being here, Anna Moore. I wouldn't do this without people like you coming in and hanging out. Would not be possible without folks like you. Lisa Hopo says, hey, Aaron. Hey, Aaron. Hey, Aaron. Michael Andrews, no worms for you. Yeah, no worms for you. 007 Control Sayer says, hey, I'm here. John Glad, 24 near Chi-Town. Brr, brr. It's chilly. It's chilly out there in the Windy City. Anna Moore says, did anyone watch the Eagles-Bills game? I did. I think my neighbors thought I was being killed, laughing out loud. What a game. Yeah, that was quite a game. That was quite a game. I was really, BF2 says, good intro, but it's a little long. Yeah, that was 22 minutes, I think, 22 and change. I try to max it out at that. I try not to go any longer than that because that is a little long. Sometimes I think most times I think I'm under 20 minutes, 16, 17 minutes. That one was 22 and a half or 22 and whatever and change. But sometimes this is so much good stuff, man. And believe me, I cut down a lot. I cut out a lot of stuff. Pardon me. I think I had my own spit go down the wrong pipe or something. But I was really disappointed in the Bears last night. You didn't do my Rams any favors by losing to the hated ones up there in the Bay Area. But that was the game last night, that Bears Niners game. Boy, that was just a back and forth. That's what we call an old-fashioned barn burner. It seems like every possession they were scoring, and the lead just kept going back and forth, until finally the Bears had to settle for a field goal instead of a touchdown. And as soon as that happened, I was like, oh, that's it. The way this thing's going. And sure enough, next possession, the Niners got the ball. They scored a touchdown to go ahead. And then the Bears, with little time left, they were driving. They got down to the 4-yard line, and then weren't able to get it in there. weren't able to score. And, damn it! So the Colts with Old Man Rivers, they couldn't do us any favors. They couldn't beat the Seahawks. The Bears. Now the Colts won. That would have been a pretty tall order because they're not very. The Colts aren't very good now. Since their starting quarterback went down, they had to bring in a 44-year-old guy who had been retired for 5 years. And Phillip Rivers, I mean, my hats off to Phillip Rivers. I mean, for an old guy who hasn't played for 5 years, my hats tip of the hat to Phillip Rivers. But he's an inspiration to anyone who's old. And by old, I mean by professional athlete standards. But so that was a pretty tall order to expect them. But it was actually a pretty close game for most of that, for a lot of it. But the Bears, who are really good this year, equally as good as the Niners, and we saw how kind of equal they are because the score kept going back and forth. They had a real chance to beat the Niners last night, and during I think that last drive or some of the last parts of the game, 2 really almost unforgivable drops by Bears receivers where the ball hit them right in the freaking hands. You had 2 of those that happened, and if that hadn't happened, the Bears might have pulled it off and been able to win. Anyhow, tonight the Rams play Monday Night Football against the Falcons. Yeah, Falcons. Hopefully the Rams got to win out. I mean, the Rams are in. They've clinched the playoff spot. But to try to have any hope at the number one seed, or even to get as best seeding as they can in the playoffs, they need to win out. So hopefully tonight the Rams will beat the Falcons. Yeah, Michael McAndrew says, I'm in Traverse City, Michigan. It's a snowstorm here. Teresa TAK, yesterday here where I live at 63 degrees. I believe Teresa is in Texas somewhere. And stormy, and today only in the 20s. Very weird weather. I think you're in Texas. Well, I've seen that kind of stuff where it'll be warm one day, warm and sunny, and the next day you got a foot of snow falling on you. I've come across that in my travels. It is kind of weird though. Very weird, very very weird when that happens. David Weiss from Denver. Speaking of Denver, speaking of weird weather, Denver is one of those places. David Weiss says, hello from Denver. No words. No more words by Yellow from You Gotta Say Yes to Another Excess. Man, oh man, I don't know what that's about, but whatever you're taking, I want some. Jorgen Johansson from somewhere in one of the Scandinavian countries, I believe. Hello, Jorgen. Good to see you. Thanks for popping on in. Nola Carnes with a $10 super chat. Yippee, Nola Carnes. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate the super chat. I'll give you a thumbs up and a heart. We're 1/5 of the way on our goal for today. Thank you, Nola. Appreciate you. It's people like you that keep this show going and keep us on the air. So thank you so much. Anamore says, I agree with you, DPD, about Zelensky visiting that asshole. Yeah, I mean, we're afraid of meeting Putin for the same reason. And people have come back from meetings with Putin not feeling very well. So I wouldn't put it past Trump to do the same type of thing. So, hey, Robert Perez from down San Diego way. Good to see you. Thanks for popping in. Robert says, yo, trucker, good afternoon to you and all the trucklers out there and about. I appreciate you coming on in. How are things down in San Diego? Probably beautiful. San Diego is one of the most beautiful areas in the country and has some of the most beautiful weather consistently throughout the year. Is that San Diego region of California. Let's see who else we got. Marcus Mills is here. Hey, Marcus, good to see you. Good to see ya, everybody. Everybody, good to see ya. Charlie Cat say human eating. Why I never. Michael McAndrews, it's a crime what they have ICE doing. Yeah, all that shit. Like I said, I really, really hope that the major agenda is right when he says people are going to be going to jail. All right, I'm just taking that bite while I read the chat. Big Hook. Trump will pardon all of them, unfortunately. So I guess it would be not until we get the White House back in 2029 that these people will go to jail. And here we are, almost in 2026. That's still 3 years away. Dang, some jails get food from McDonald's. Yeah, Big Hook says pardons along with exit plans to other countries with all their ill-gotten gains. That's what I was going to say too. They've got 3 years. As I spit food out, sorry. That's why you should not eat on camera. Sorry about that. But they've got 3 years to get their exit strategies in order. Or maybe just a little under 3 years. If things continue to go the way they've been going, if things continue like this, disapproval rating for Trump 74%. I'm not sure. Let's see, what was this exactly? What did I do? This is in general. Are you satisfied or dissatisfied with the way things are going in the United States at this time? And this is when Trump is president. 74% of this is a Gallup poll. It says 74% are dissatisfied. And this is just another indication of what's happening under Trump. People are dissatisfied. People are not happy with him, the way he's running the government. They're not happy with the economy. And if this is going to continue, I don't think it's going to get any better for Trump. He can wag the dog all he wants. No one really wants to go to war with Venezuela. I think even most of his supporters. So he can wag the dog all he wants. His approval ratings aren't going to get any better. And so eventually we are going to win the House and the Senate back, and we are going to get the White House back. So these folks that we talk about being arrested, they probably, if they're not thinking of some exit plan or some place to go or how to get out, they better start thinking about it. Ruben Michael says Marge was a J6er. She was one of the planners of the January 6th coup attempt. Yeah, remember they had that meeting, right? I think we all know about this meeting that they had like the day before, right? Yeah, I think she was in there. I think her and wasn't like Tulsi Gabbard there or something? I don't know. Dick Rich, do auto pin pardons count? Hey, there's Adam Westis was here. I don't know if Adam is still here or not, but thanks for popping in. I haven't seen Adam in a long time. Adam says, I'm usually disappointed in the Bears too. They either are too hairy or just not that pretty. Oh, boom with Adam coming in with a gay joke, which is fine. Totally allowable. It's totally allowable here in the Trucker John live stream in the driver's lounge. I'll allow it. Well, Burroughs, I reserve the right to arm bears. Luck Dragon says, hey, Luck Dragon, by the way, hello, good to see you. It's the only time in NFL history where the game was tied at 7-14, 21, 288, and 35. I think you meant at 7 points, at 14 points, at 21 points, at 28 points, not 288 points, and at 35 points. And I know Luck Dragon's from the Bay Area, so you're probably really happy of the outcome. Ruben Michaels, Seattle are 13-3. I know, man. But they got away with one with that win in against the Rams. That shouldn't have been allowed. That 2-point bullshit should not have been allowed. That was bullshit. Jorgen Johansson says, I'm amazed that reporters that is called stupid of Dumbo not gets to attack and question his IQ, a fucking rapist and a pedophile that call himself Mr. Business but doesn't know what percent means. Yeah, the press, the media, they're definitely letting us down. And there was a clip I was going to play, and I didn't play it because I felt like we've kind of covered it a lot. But it is about how billionaires are buying the media outlets and controlling, like CBS, for instance. And so I guess these reporters feel if they want to keep their job, they can't. I guess they can't do anything that would call out the president, which is bullshit. They should just all be calling out the president. If they get fired, they get fired. I know that's hard. That's easy for me to say, because everyone has bills, everyone has rent to pay, and everyone has those financial responsibilities. So it's really easy for me to say, hey, put your job on the line by actually following up, having good follow-up questions for this piece of shit, calling him out when he says very derogatory and misogynistic things against female reporters, for instance. Stick up for your fellow female reporters, for God's sakes. I mean, there's got to be, again, I understand we all have our bills to pay and we don't want to lose our jobs, but I don't know, man. There should still be some kind of integrity in the press corps, and I'm just not seeing it too much, I'm just not seeing it. Nick Rich says 12:03 in Vegas, so now I am 11 minutes. I'm 11 minutes behind you, Nick Rich. 11. I'm catching up. I was 16 minutes. Now I'm only 11 minutes behind you. Jörgen Johansson says, sorry, my bad English, Swedish. Well, Jörgen Johansson, I don't even know how to speak Swedish. So you're one up on me, at least. Teresa TJ, I live in the Midwest. Oh, in Illinois. Okay. Why was I thinking you were in Texas? Maybe your sister's in Texas. I don't know. I don't mean to be doxing your whole family. I apologize. But thank you, Teresa, for being here and clarifying that. You're up there near West, maybe. You might be up there close to West. So watch out. Watch out, Teresa. You're in West Country. Adam West just says Hawaii has had very odd weather, nearly a drought during the wet season. Usually we have monsoons at up to 60 inches a day. Wow, 60 inches a day? Wow. I mean, that's not, I can't even imagine it. Hot as hell, 90s one day, cold in 60s the next. Well, Al Gore warned us, and of course the right wingers and the haters, they all mocked him and laughed at him. But he was worrying us about these weird weather extremes. We're going from extremely hot to extremely wet to extremely it'll be all extremes. It'll be feast or famine basically. And I think we're seeing that. That's what we're seeing. Al Gore was right 25 years ago, or however long ago that An Inconvenient Truth came out. 20 years or whatever it was. So here's MJ Daniel with the continuing saga of the car accident he was in. I remember this from a couple weeks ago. So here's an update. MJ Daniel says, asshole rubbernecking rear ends me at a red light pretty hard. Our car was listed over $8,000 and the insurance offers us a bit over $6,500. Fuck insurance companies. It will take more than that. Yeah, fuck them. If you can appeal that or whatever, then appeal it. Anamore says, we had a warm and sunny day on Christmas Day in New Jersey, and the next day we got sleet. Crazy. Well, storm fronts come in and they bring the weather, but MJ Daniels says, fucking right. One of the very first things I want from Democrats, if they get the majority, are impeachments and criminal trials. There is going to be, if not impeachments, we're going to have a lot of hearings, you know. There will be congressional hearings. As far as criminal trials, I mean, hopefully there will be, but with a Trump DOJ, I don't know. We might have to wait till 2029. I don't know. DPD, did you skip the T on Kris Jenner? I kind of did. I think I remember I saw that. I might have been eating. I don't know. But yeah, I guess I did. But it was there for everyone to see, so everyone saw it in the chat. And I don't think I can scroll back to it. So, but yeah, Kris Jenner apparently involved in trafficking. I guess I don't know. I can't read everything, DPD, or I'd be 45 minutes behind right now instead of only 11. Bonnie Malcolm says, seriously, all the Scandinavian countries are cool, but I am a little worried about Finland. What's going on with Finland? Why? What happened to Finland? What's Finland doing? Finland, what are you doing? What the hell are you doing now, Finland? Lisa Hopo, what the hell is wrong with the 74% overinflated numbers? He always had. Anyway, and I don't even worry about that. I you know, people always say that could be 13%, and people go, "What about the 13%?" I really don't give a fuck about that. To me, the number that stands out is the 74%. That's the important number here, because now you're at 3/4 of the respondents, which is supposed to represent, you know, I guess the country, are dissatisfied. 3/4. That's a lot. If we ever had 3/4 of the people all unified, whether it's like in voting or whether it's in marching and protesting and marching, like at No Kings, if we had 74%, or if we did a general strike and we got a 74% turnout, that would be unprecedented, for one thing, as far as the general strike is concerned. That would be unprecedented. And that would send shockwaves of messages and of fear, shockwaves of fear to the oligarchs. If we had 74% of the people, let's say, do a general strike, where we don't go to work, we don't go to school, we don't go shopping, we don't buy gas, we don't do diddly fucking squat. If we had 74% of do you realize that the entire country would come to a grinding halt within a day, within 2 days? And if we had some sort of, I don't know, a unifying voice or some way of letting the oligarchs know exactly why we're doing what we're doing and how we are sick and tired of this fucking white nationalist, evangelist theocracy bullshit. We're tired of being led by a bunch of fucking pedophiles. We're tired of being led into fucking, you know, Nazism. We're tired of not being able to just do basic things like take care of our sick, take care of our poor, take care of our homeless. That every other fucking industrialized nation in the world seems to have a pretty good handle on it. Seems to be doing pretty well in helping the poor and help make sure everyone has their health needs taken care of. And we can't even get that done. And we are supposedly the richest goddamn nation in the world. And we are. But all the money is going up to you motherfuckers, you oligarchs, you assholes, while we are down here scrambling for crumbs. Fuck you. If we had 74% of the people doing that, we would have whatever. We would have fucking single payer universal health care in one fucking day. We would have a UBI in one fucking day. We would have fucking national well, national healthcare system. We would have fucking free college. We would have fucking anything. But no, there would be the homeless problems. We would have homeless shelters. We would have housing. We would have everything we fucking want in like one fucking day. If we had 74% of the people engaged and come together and unified, and not a bunch of different voices, but we all came together and were unified in this cause, we would have what we want in like one fucking day. So to me, that's the number you look at, the 74%. Ignore the 24%. Who gives a fuck about them? They're a bunch of assholes. It's the 74%. That's the important number. Anyhow, that's all I got. That's all I got to say about that. Jenny. That's all I got to say about that. So you guys are all concentrating on the 24%. Fuck the 24%. Who gives a fuck? The important number is the 74%. And if that number keeps going up and up and up and up, then Trump and all those motherfuckers, they're fucking cooked. They're cooked. DPD 5844 says, I encourage everyone to watch The Ethical Psychic, Dr. Jennifer West. There's a story on Substack that examines the facts that Harris, indeed, one cybersecurity experts have had contacted Garland Biden, and then we'll never know the rest. But I've been hearing more and more stuff too. This is what Ojeda is saying. People are saying that there's no way Trump won all those swing states where Harris was leading by 10 points or more in all of them, and then all of a sudden she lost all of them. So, and I've said from day one, it's just it's fishy, it's suspect, but I can't say for certainty until we need the proof, we need the evidence, we need the actual fucking hard fucking evidence before we can actually say, for sure or whatever. And then, so DPD goes on to say Harris, I guess it was Biden Harris, that the tampering was found, but they sat on the information because they were afraid of a civil war breaking out because she was a black woman, which would increase the flames. I don't believe that. I mean, maybe they said that. Maybe that's what their excuse was. I don't believe that, though. I believe they sat on the information because maybe it wasn't provable. I mean, if you're gonna make that accusation, you better make sure you can back it up. It better be hardcore, 100% verifiable, without a doubt, information. That's what I think the real thing is. What was the evidence? And how foolproof was it? Lisa Hopo says climate change definitely kicked in with black gold. That's oil. They've known about it forever. AI is going to put us out of reach of saving ourselves. Black gold. They've got to move to Beverly Hills. Adam Washington says, I forced all my friends and my boyfriend to see Inconvenient Truth. Yes, my first and second flood was 55 inches in 18 hours or less. Wow. Jolie says 65 yesterday in Indiana, 20 degrees today. Yep. Lisa Hopo says if we can't get back the house after this BS, Dim should just throw in the towel. We're going to get back the house, and if we don't get back the house, then there's definitely some cheating going on. I think there's no doubt. There's absolutely no doubt we're going to get that back the house. And if we don't, like you say, I don't know. It's about throwing in the towel. Then there's got to be absolutely, then we are Russia, where we hold elections that don't mean anything. Bonnie Balcom. The weather in Hawkins, Indiana is always weird. We got the Stranger Things. I guess the finale is it New Year's Eve or New Year's Day? I guess that's the big finale. Finally the finale. Aaron West says, I'm back. I'm back in the saddle again. I'm back. I love Aerosmith. I love the 70s Aerosmith. They're the best of the Aerosmith eras. I really don't. Anything past 1980, it's just okay. It's just sort of commercial gaga, goo goo, gobbledygook. But they're 70s stuff. If you want to listen to some good 70s rock music, listen to Aerosmith from the 70s. It's when they were the best. They were the best. Lisa Hopo, I don't understand why Kamala did not contest anything. Like I said, I don't know if maybe they couldn't get the just undeniable 100% ironclad proof, Aaron West says she didn't have the funds. I guess need those too. Nick Rich, red to purple, purple to blue. There you go. Let's do this. Let's do this. You and me, let's fucking go. Yeah. Let's do this. I hate moving this. I'm afraid the whole thing's gonna just fall over or something. Because it has happened before. It has happened. Well, look at there. I think I caught up to the chat. Show's over. Thanks, guys. But I have caught up. What's this kitty saxophone fantasy? Callum Robillard Turner staying with Dua Lipa. I must be mid-thread. This is a mid-thread thing. Adam Welsh says Cissy Jones Hawaiians are like Washington D.C. pretty much always blue, though conservative morons like Trotsky Gabbard get in through lying about their political orientation. And just think, I used to have a thing for her. Aaron West. I don't know. I almost said Southwest. Aaron West, are you flying Southwest? Aaron West says, we got a grill for Christmas. I'm a little excited to learn how to use it. Well, there you go. Just don't use it indoors. For God's sakes. For the love of God, don't use it indoors. You will end up like Adam the Woo, maybe. Mr. Spock, I think you turn a grill on, then put meat on it. I could be mistaken. Well, is it a gas powered like grill, or is it just using coals, the little coal thingies? There are different grills, and you have to have a different sort of skill set. getting those coals just right to the right heat, it takes a while. You want to put the pile of those little charcoals in there, douse it with fucking lighter fluid, then you light it, and then you really want it to just sort of kind of burn there, make sure it's burning and just continuing to go, because after a while you won't even see the flames. But make sure that it's just for like a half an hour. You want to see some of the charcoal starting to get gray, a little gray around the edges, and make sure it's really nice and hot. If you're using charcoals, if it's a gas one, that's pretty much just like using a gas stove, I guess, indoors. I mean your regular gas stove. Don't use it indoors. But anyhow, yeah. But it'll be fun. Sandy Folks, where's Trucker John? What are you saying? I'm right here, Sandy. I'm right here. I'm right here, Sandy. I've been right here. Oh, you must be. Oh, Sandy, you know what? You must be at the very beginning still. Like you have to fast forward if you want to. Like if you want to get caught up. You're probably Sandy must be. She must have just came in and she's just watching from the beginning when when I wasn't there for like a half an hour. That's what's going on. So Sandy, if you want to fast forward, but she's not going to hear this until she gets to this part. Anyhow, Michael McAndrew says to smoke, put chunks of wood on the grill, Aaron. I think I have hazelnut. Oh yeah. You can get that smoky kind of flavor to it. Yeah. DPD 5844 says political punk was saying if the orange pedophile does not willingly what leave? What does not willingly what? Then we need to drag. Oh, like when he loses, you mean? Then we need to drag his pimply orange ass out. These are my words. You can get the jest by any means necessary. Oh well, yeah. You're talking about if he loses, he's not going to leave the White House. Yeah, they'll just drag us out. They'll just get some fucking cops to fucking drag his ass out. And get some DC police or whatever. I don't care. Fucking U.S. Marshals. They're not gonna fucking put up with that shit. He can stomp his feet and throw a tantrum all he wants. If he's supposed to leave, he will leave. He will not. There's no way he's not gonna be able to not leave or to stay in there. Aaron West is a pretty basic 3-burner propane grill. Yeah. But it's fun. It's fun to go to grill out there on the grill. DPD, is it an indoor outdoor grill? Please, for the love of God, don't do indoor. Don't do it indoor. Mr. Spock, I dream of a propane barbecue. Really? Go get you one. Adam Worcester says, I don't have anything gas. I'm trying to keep gas out of my life. Nick Rich, campfire cooking is always a challenge. Ruben Michael says, meanwhile, back at Magaloco, Rudy is cleaning up after last night's pedo party. Adam Wesh says, Cinephobes, Trucker John is saying you need to fast forward your feed to now. I don't know if she can see this, Adam, if she's still way back, or maybe she is seeing the current chat, but she's not seeing the current image. So, yeah, maybe you're right, Adam. Maybe she can't see the. I don't know. Yeah, maybe not. Yeah, I guess I guess that does make sense. She would be able to if she just came into the chat. She would see the chat, but the actual stream that she's seeing is from 35 minutes ago or however long, or an hour ago. Little Carnes, I love all Aerosmith and Journey. And to me, Aerosmith and Journey are nothing alike. But I mean, they don't have to be. You can like two things. I like Journey too. I like Journey. I like Aerosmith way better, and I think Aerosmith is a whole different. They're like Aerosmith is much more rock to me, and not that Journey isn't rock, but they're more. It's a whole different type of rock between Journey and Aerosmith. I think Aerosmith is a little harder, a little darker, in content there. But yeah, I would say I love Aerosmith from the '70s. I would say for Journey, I like them a lot. I'm not sure if I would go to love, but Buddy Balcom says the Secret Service will frog march. Oh yeah, they're not all comrades. Whatever it is, U.S. Marshals, D.C. Police, Secret Service. Yeah, he can stomp his feet and hold his breath or whatever he's going to do. But yeah, it's not going to work. And if it did work, then that would mean that we are totally 100%, not America anymore, not a democracy, not a constitutional republic, however you want to word it. Then we would be totally, the coup would have taken place. The coup for basically, for MAGA. The MAGA coup would have succeeded, I guess. Nick Rich, when can we expect more redacted files? I guess, I don't know, probably every day, or every week they do a little bit. They're supposed to do it all. They weren't supposed to do it like this, but. And just remember, all those redactions, all those big blacked out pages, I think it's pretty safe to assume that that is all the incriminating stuff against Trump. That's all incrimination against Trump. Mr. Spock says, I might have to get a new barbecue next year. You can only cover the hole in the bottom with tinfoil so many times. There might be some good after Christmas sales going on there, Mr. Spock. Might be able to get you one for cheap. Maybe, I don't know. DVD, why not an indoor grill? We have a grill on our stove, and indoor. I know. I'm just. It's I'm talking about the charcoal ones. Yeah, if it's a gas burning one, I guess you could. But never, ever, 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 ever burn charcoal inside your house. You will die. You will die. I'm just doing this as a public service announcement. Do not ever burn a charcoal burning barbecue inside your house. You will kill you and everyone in the house. Look, Dragon, George Foreman likes the grill. Those are different. Those are electric. I used to have one. I used to use it all the time. I loved it. Petrazi. Hey, Petrazi, 1920. Hey, Petrazi, good to see you. I like the charcoal grills. Yes, and use those. Those are for outdoor use only. Okay. Company mothership, just a little FYI, so we don't die. Right. That's a good rhyme. That's a good rhyme. Nick Rich, don't deep fry a turkey indoors either. Yeah, you're gonna burn your house down. And don't do it out on the patio with right next to your wood siding and your patio cover. Have you seen videos of those going up in flames? Adam Wesh, I grill outside. Anything burning, if it isn't natural or if it's petroleum based, I will not burn it indoors. Michael McAndrews, I have seen a burned up porch before. Hopefully not from personal experience. I don't know. So yeah, Trump's all of his approval numbers are just in the tank. Have you guys what's the game? I play it all the time. I think it's called Royal something. It's where there's like a king, and then you got to go through all these things. I play that game. I've been playing that game for 5 years. I don't know. And then the other day, this graphic popped up. I thought this was interesting. I don't know, but if you can see in the lower right hand corner, Have you guys seen this before? Whoops. I didn't mean to zoom. I zoomed myself in here. Right, there we go. Have you guys that's my fucking table. That is my fucking table, except for the middle piece with that's light, a light color. Mine is a little bit darker colored. That's my fucking table. You guys remember? You remember the table I got, right? The dumpster save. I mean, even down to the little kind of lion claw tables, the feet there. That's my fucking table, man. I wonder if I have. Do I have any pictures of my table? I don't think I do. Do I? I got a picture of my chair. There's my chair. Let's see, because I probably have pictures in one of my photo album. I don't think I have it here in this thing. This is like just one that's on this Prism app. Anyhow, that's my table. Damn it. I would show you my table, but it's covered up with a bunch of stuff. And let's see. Well, I've got me on TV. That's my table right there. I mean, look at that. It's like the exact same thing, except the middle part is not that kind of yellowish color. Isn't that something? I guess my table is kind of popular. It's on a game that millions and millions of people play. That game. So I was just really happy about my chair. I mean my table and my chair. No Carnes. I also like Santana. I like Santana, but I'm just talking about Aerosmith right now. And they're really, those are all really different. But there's nothing wrong with different and liking different bands and stuff like that. But Michael McGann. Oh yeah, okay, that's where I was at. All right, I'm just seeing you guys are talking about grills. Where's grills? Royal Match. Yes, Julie, that's the one. Royal Match. My table is in the Royal Match game. Bonnie Malcolm. I can't take the pressure of Royal Match. It's just a game, Bonnie. It's just a game. Adam West. Table stolen from Trucker John. Hoard out for pixels in a game. Petrozzi, the phone is scanning your surroundings. Ah, is that what happened? Next thing you know, my couch will be in the game probably. My very lovely, beautiful black couch. Anna Moore says Charlie Sheen once commented that Steven Tyler sings like a woman, but hits like a man after getting his butt whipped by Steven Tyler on one of his episodes of 2.5 Men. That's a show I never really watched. I think maybe I watched 1 or 2 episodes of it. It seemed like a good show, a funny show, but I just never got into it. Bonnie Malcolm, bot stole the table. DPD, is the game stalking you, TJ? I don't know, but they copied my table. Danny Pomeroy says, my phone is AI driven. I asked if I can just turn it off, and I got a no answer. Johnny Cats don't look the same. You don't think they look the same? I think they're fucking identical. So what? Look, Dragon, that tail has 4 legs. Yours only has 3. So what? It's the same design. God dang it! Don't fucking stop coming in here and pissing on my Cheerios, man. Look, Dragon, Royal Kingdom is actually better. See there? You got to come in here and piss on my Cheerios, man. Susie Jones, I don't see Sandy Foltz. She commented earlier, like 10 minutes ago, that we're wondering where I was at, and that's why I thought, pretty sure she's watching from the beginning. She came in and just started watching the stream from the very beginning when I wasn't in here for like forever. Comedy Mothership, clearly the same table. See there? That's more like it. That's the kind of support I need. Johnny Cats, where the legs come together, looks a little different. Oh my God, you guys are so technical. All right, it's a little different, but it's pretty close. All right? It's pretty damn close. Nick Rich pissing on the Cheerios. Come in here and you piss on my Cheerios. Speaking of which, I wish I had some Cheerios. I wish I had some Cheerios. I need to go do a little shopping today. So anyhow, Johnny Cat says, "Well, John, you're only a minute behind. That's impressive. I'm like 0 behind right now." Susie Jones made me look twice. Maybe Daniel, piss in my Cheerios would be better than DJT and MAGA. Mr. Spock, is that one of those NFTs at TJ? How much did you pay for it? It's not what the table. That's not an NFT. No, it's just a screenshot from the game. Oh. Christina Wild was here. Hey, Christina, good to see you. Thanks for coming on in. So anyhow, here's an update on my phone situation. You guys remember the phone situation, right? So I guess it was Saturday morning, or that's when I found out my phone service has been suspended because I was past due, and I had been just I was putting it off as long as I could. I was trying to get caught up. I was still past due. I wasn't able to make the payment arrangement, and my phone my service got suspended. But I'm at home. I'm still with Wi-Fi. I can still do this show. I can still text. So I texted my daughter because I have her phone is on my plan. You know, I used to pay for my son and my daughter and myself for years and years, for like 10, 12 years, or at least probably, maybe longer. And then I guess a few years ago, my son went off and got his own plan. I think a couple years ago, but my daughter still, and her phone was paid for. It was I think, because my daughter, she went through a thing where she kept losing phones and breaking phones, and she ended up just getting a cheap used phone. It's an iPhone, but so hers was paid off, and her little service wasn't that much. It was only an extra, I think, $30 a month or whatever. But anyhow, she was on my plan, and so when my service got suspended, it suspended her phone too. So I sent her a text message, and on Saturday I said, "Hey, I'm sorry to spring this on you out of the blue and everything, but as you've probably figured out by now, you know, your phone's not working, you know, for phone calls. The service has been suspended, and I'm really sorry to, you know, have this happen to you all of a sudden, because, you know, you need your phone." And I said, "You might want to just go and get another phone, because I don't know how long it's going to be for me to get this cleared up." You know, I'm trying to work on it. I'm past due like $557, and I'm not going to be able to pay it right now to restore the service. So I don't know how long it's going to take me. It might take me a week or two or whatever. I don't know. So then my daughter got back in touch with me Saturday night, and then we started communicating, and she on Saturday night, and then all through Sunday, we're just going back and forth. Like she's like, okay, how much do you owe? Is how much until your phone is paid for? Because my phone, I had it on a contract, and it was almost paid for. And she's talking about what can you unlock the phone? And she's doing all this stuff, you know, helping me out, like you know, to unlock the phone. And she's like, look, there's all these other different plans. You need to get out of AT&T. And there's all these other plans that are so much cheaper, so much, and all you really need is your phone. You don't need all this other shit, you know. And I'm like, okay, I'm all for it. And so I gave her, I get like my PIN and my sign-in number. So she goes into my account, and all of a sudden I'm seeing these emails from AT&T like, we noticed that you changed the payment or whatever, and then we noticed you did this and you did that, and then it's like, oh, okay, we noticed that you are requesting to unlock your phone. So then I texted my daughter back. I go, what's going on? What are you doing? And so apparently my daughter went in there, paid off the balance due, and got my phone unlocked. And and she's telling me, okay, look, we're going to sign up for this thing called Visible, what I never even heard of. Like, and she said it's only like $29, $30 a month. So we're going to switch over to that. I haven't done it yet because I had to back up my phone. I was doing that last night, and that took forever. And now I was just going to wait till after I do this show. I'm going to get back in touch with my daughter, and we're going to unlock the phone, and we're going to switch over to Visible, which is only $30 a month. And I've been paying over $300 a month for years and years and years for this stupid service with AT&T. So my daughter came in and she fucking, saved my ass. And I didn't ask her to do that. I was just telling her, hey, look, you want to go get your own phone because, I don't know when I'm going to pay this. And I know that this was a hardship for her to do this. And this is not, we're all having financial, it's tough for all of us, for my kids, me, many of you in the chat, many of us across the country, times are tough financially. And my daughter was able to do that for me. It was really out of the blue and really a nice thing that she did. And so she helped me she got the thing paid off, and she got me we're getting out of AT&T. We're moving to something that's so much cheaper. And, if it sucks, then I can always find something else, if that phone service sucks. But there's so many, and I know on Saturday's show, a lot of you guys were giving all your suggestions. There's so many other companies, like Mint Mobile and all these things that are, so much cheaper and more affordable. So now that I'm out of there, it will help so much with not having that monthly expense just taking me down every month, which, like I said, that was the thing that sort of got me evicted from the place I got evicted from a year ago, or almost a year ago. It'll be a year in February, I think. But the whole thing started in about this time, as far as the missed payment and everything. And it was all basically because of that goddamn phone bill. So my daughter came through. She really came through for me. It was pretty cool, pretty awesome. Yeah, Sandy Foltz is talking about the bills. So that's where Sandy is in the stream. Remember when we were talking about football and the Bills and the Eagles? That's where Sandy is in the stream. just so you guys know. Bill Carnes, I'm messing with you, TJ. I like all music. Gene Pitney, good too. Yeah, Gene Pitney's good too. I think, but anyhow, I prefer the '70s Aerosmith. DPD, is anyone afraid that we may not have a world to sustain for the midterms or beyond, considering the orange pedophile is posting pictures of nuclear war? Remember, there are no adults in the room. Well, you know what? I can only worry about so much. I know. We should be aware of what's going on. We should be worried, I guess, about Trump. He is unstable. We should be worried about it, but then there's only so much I can do. There's only so much we can do, and the only thing I can try to do is just encourage everyone to make sure that they do vote. If we do get to November, if we do make it to November, make sure that we all vote. We're all registered. We all vote. But certainly, it's not out of. It wouldn't be. You wouldn't be crazy to be worried about Trump and what he might do to start a nuclear war or something. You're not out of bounds. DPD, I'm so sorry for being so dark. Well, no, I mean, but Trump is a madman. So I don't think you're out of bounds for that. Michael McAndrews, $10 super chat. Yippee, Michael McAndrews. Thank you so much. I do appreciate you. That's a thumbs up for you and a heart. But phone service fun. Thank you, Michael. I do appreciate that. Sandy Foltz is still talking about the Bills game. So she's way back, about an hour back in the show. And she happens to think that Josh has not been as good since he got married. So maybe it has. Maybe we should have a chart of Josh Allen's stats and then put the date that he got married. And if we see them going downhill since then Sandy might be onto something. If you're a Bills fan, you need to break that marriage up. Bonnie Balcon says, I'm on my daughter's account and I pay on the first every month. She's always late and makes payment arrangement. Yeah, you might want to get your own plan. You might want to get off of her plan and get your own plan. Then, MJ Daniel, we have Comcast cable and they keep raising the price, so we are probably going back to Dish Network. Jolie says, yay, glad you got it worked out. Thank my daughter. Ruben Michaels, AT&T ripoff. And I've never really liked AT&T ever since years ago when the CEO of AT&T is a great, came out and he's really, big buddies there with Trump. So I've never liked him ever since then, but I've just always kept him because I don't know, I didn't want to take a chance of getting something worse or whatever, because I have had things that I thought were worse. I believe it was, like I said, I had Verizon and T-Mobile before AT&T, and I didn't like either one of those. So I think Sandy may have caught up because she says, did your daughter pay your bill? Which is what I was just saying. So maybe she's not caught up because she didn't hear me say that whole story. So she's probably not caught up yet. She's just remembering the story that we on Saturday we went into the whole thing about the phone. DPD, why pay anything, TJ, when you both could get a free cell service? I don't want just cell service. I have an iPhone that I love and I'm going to keep, and I don't know about this free cell service. I don't even know what you're talking about. It's more than just cell service. It's data. Petrozzi, that was nice of her daughter's rock. Jolie says, Jaylee coming in clutch. Yeah, absolutely. Sandy Foltz, which phone carrier did you switch to? Well, I haven't switched yet, but she was saying it's called Visible. Have you guys heard of Visible? I've never heard of it, but I guess I'm going to try it out. And if it turns out to be totally crappy, then I'll just go to something else. But I'm not going to go back to AT&T. Not for the type prices they were charging me. And I don't know about this free thing that DPD is talking about. I mean, I guess I could try that out too, but my experience is usually things that are free are usually crap. So I don't know. Yeah, I guess Sandy is caught up. She says, that was nice of your daughter to do that for you. Anna Moore, she saved the day. Yep, she sure did. Nick Rich, 1 p.m. Nick has got a phone call. He's got to go. Thanks, Nick. You're probably gone already, but thank you. So I'm 4 minutes behind you. I'm 4 minutes behind you, Nick Rich. I'm 4 little minutes behind you. Barney Balcom says, I'm on T-Mobile, and it looks like I can switch to Mint Mobile for about $30 a month. A lot of people were talking about Mint Mobile. Sonny Foltz, I'm doing the best to do that, TJ. But getting that marriage broken up. Okay, yeah, you're trying. Susie Jones says Dinky has it in his head that a war stopped elections in Ukraine. We don't have it in the Constitution that elections are suspended, so fuck him. We had elections during both world wars. Oh, so was Dinky wanting to stop the elections here if we're at war? Is that what the deal is? Adam West just says Mint is good, very cheap and decent service as far as I can tell. MJ Daniels, we want to go with something that carries free speech TV. Comcast does not. Does Dish Network? Because I'm trying to remember. I used to have Dish. Like, I had Dish, and I guess they did have. I think did they have free speech TV? Yeah, I guess they did, didn't they? Because I think I remember watching like Tom Hartman on there and stuff, and even like Randy Rhoads and stuff. I think it's been quite a few years since I had Dish and all that. So Aaron West says I've heard of Visible. They should be good for you, John. Oh, so at least somebody heard of them. I never heard of them until yesterday when my daughter brought it up. So yeah, we'll check it out. Sandy Fold says you need to sign up for medical. I'm on Medicare and food stamps in order to get free phone and phones. The phones are good. I'm on Medicare, if that means anything, and like I said, I signed up to get SNAP benefits like a couple years ago, but then I never did follow through with it, and I should probably try it again while they still exist before Trump and his administration completely do away with them. Because it would be nice to have a little help with the food, you know. Adam Wester says the Obama free government phone is excellent. I don't want just the phone. I have my iPhone. I'm keeping my iPhone that my daughter just paid off for me. And I'm going to keep that thing until it croaks, probably. I mean, I've already had it for, I think, like 2 or 3 years or something. Yeah, because it was a 36-month contract, and this was the last payment. So, however long 36 months is, 3 years. So it's been 3 years. I've had this phone for 3 years, and it seems like it's in really good shape. And hopefully I didn't just jinx it by saying that. Nola Carnes, football is fixed. I used to be a bookie, all fixed. It seems like that would be really hard to keep hidden. It seems like there would be too many people that would know about it, Nola, to keep that from getting out. That it's all fixed. How do you keep that from getting out? How do you fix it? Is it just with the referees, with bad calls? They have been, there are a lot of bad calls this year. I'll give you that much. It seems like more than usual. Do you need to, I guess you don't need to buy off the whole team, but you only need to buy off 1 or 2 players, I guess, at each game? I don't know. I've always lived under the belief that there's always the potential for games to be fixed, and it has happened. For sure, we have many, many documented cases of sports being fixed, especially boxing. That one's probably really easy, probably one of the easiest because it's just 2 guys. You only have to get 1 guy. But as far as football or even baseball, it just seems like there's too many moving pieces. There's too many players. There's too many people. It seems like it would just come out too often. I don't know. So I'm not sure if I believe that it's all fixed. Like every single game is fixed. The outcome is already known for every single game. I don't believe that. I think there would just be too many people involved, and it would get out too much. It would. DBD says you can get free data, everything that you would basically pay for unlimited text and data. You can even bring your own phone and keep your current number. Now I will leave it alone. So where was this you were talking about? Where is this, the government phone? Is this the Trump phone or the Obama phone? Where do you get this free phone? Now you've got me. Now you've piqued my interest. Where do I get this phone, DPD? James Jaramillo, Nola Carnes, I think all professional sports are just as rigged as professional boxing. Fucking joke. Again, if it was, don't you think there would be people? It would be really hard to keep that under wraps on a consistent basis. Wouldn't we be hearing about people being dragged into court or being arrested almost every day? Or is it just the fixes in with the cops and the judges and the lawyers and the justice system? It's all fixed. It's all fucking fixed. But then I'm glad I don't live in such a world of paranoia. Color me blissfully ignorant, I guess. DPD, 36 months. I did eventually come to that, DPD. I did eventually figure that out. And more, I have Sling TV, and they carry Free Speech TV as well. Buddy Malcolm, I had Sling TV on my iPhone, and it crashed the phone. Daughter had to spend 30 minutes fixing it. Damn, I hate that when it happens. Bob Newell, Mr. Bob Newell's here. Yo, Trucker John, sup? Jorgen Johansson says, TJ, you can always pay the referee to judge your way. I mentioned referees. There's been referees I know in basketball, right? About what, 20 years ago? But if it's so widespread, it seems like we would have referees being arrested and charged like every fucking day. Look, Dragon, sports are only rigged when my team loses. Believe me, I'm not so naive not to think that there aren't cases of fixing and rigging, but I don't think it's widespread. I don't think it's every game. I don't think it's every sport. I don't think it's everywhere you go. They have to keep it on the down low. Loose lips sink ships, and the more lips you got in there, the more sinking you got going on. DPD says, TJ, the program is called Lifeline, and they do have the program in Nevada. Okay, DPD, I'll look into it. I'll just Google Lifeline and see, and I'll see where it'll probably lead me to where I need to go. Thank you, DPD. I think I've heard of Lifeline, but I probably just ignored it. You know what I mean? Like you hear these little PSAs pop up. I probably just ignored it. But thank you. I'll look that up. Susie Jones says, I have an Obama phone by AirTalk Wireless. You can purchase extra data if you don't know how to reset the network. So data I use about 120 gigs a month, and it's $70. $70. There are a lot of people in this chat room that would think that that's way too expensive. I talked about getting Credo Moto for $50, and I was pilloried. I tell you, I was pilloried by the crowd in this room, by the crowd in this chat room. Hey, folks, we got 69 watches, 73 thumbs up. I want to thank you guys for acting like good Democrats, keeping us at a surplus of thumbs ups. But if you haven't hit the thumbs up, make sure you do that. I would appreciate it. Mr. Balnewell, would the 2026 midterm elections be affected by the Michelle Barack divorce? By Michelle Barack? That's a silly question. But Mr. Bob Newell is sort of the king of silly questions. So. Nola Carnes, Vegas knows revs have a lot to do with it. Mr. Bob Newell, you said too many lips. Like I said, I don't deny that the possibility exists. I don't deny that there's probably some fixing going on here and there. I don't think it's every game. I don't think it's every sport, every time, every day. Probably just enough where they can make enough money on it that it makes up for all the other games that are honest. If it was every game, then I think we would be seeing referees and players and whoever's involved being dragged into court and arrested and handcuffed, perp walked out every single day. Maybe I'm just, like I said, I'm just naive. I'm just blissfully ignorant, I guess. Susie Jones says, my lifeline is through AirTalk. You can bring your own phone. I will definitely check into it, but we're going to check out this Visible thing and see how that is. But I will definitely look into Lifeline just to check it out. And who knows, if I don't like Visible, maybe I'll go check out Lifeline or something. Jürgen Johansson, it's not spread. I'm a sports maniac too, or else I had lost hope, but it happens for sure. City Jones, I have 3 devices for $70. Olga Martinez, hey Olga Martinez, good to see you. Says, oi, yes, thumb up. DPD says, bless you, TJ, and now I will commence getting on your nerves. You weren't getting on my nerves, DPD. You weren't getting on my nerves. Really, you weren't. James Harmio says, the way the Trump administration does it right out in the fucking open. Yeah, we did. What the fuck are you going to do about it other than nothing? Susie Jones, 2 phones, 1 tablet. See, I have an iPad, but it's not hooked up to any service. It's just all Wi-Fi, I guess. It just completely runs off Wi-Fi. My iPad is unlocked. I unlocked it a long time ago, but I use it just for off my Wi-Fi, my home Wi-Fi. Ruben Michaels, prove it. There are lots of refs. What does that mean? What the fuck does that mean? Yeah, there are lots of refs. That doesn't prove shit. Jürgen Hansen says, in great games in football, we have VAR. These days, everything is checked on TV. I don't know what VAR is, but Adam Wish, I like playing sports. I just don't enjoy watching it except to learn. To each their own. To each their own. I love when I was younger and I was more, physically able. I loved playing sports too. I'm just a fan of the sport, but Sonny folks, did you get my 500 sticker? No. What 500 sticker? I don't even know what that is. What's a 500 sticker? I don't know what unless did you send it to my email account or something? I don't know. I haven't looked at that lately, but there Nola Corn says goes up the ladder, no paranoia. I know an attorney that was for the Browns, knew they were moving way before they announced it. I was a secretary for a friend of the attorney. I was deep in it. Okay, Nola. I'm sure you saw what you saw. I don't know what, knowing that the Browns were leaving, before it was announced. I don't know what that has to do with rigging games. I think those are 2 completely different things. Maybe you're just bringing it up as an example that you like of how you were in it, how you could see the stuff that was going on behind the scenes. I guess that's what you're trying to do there, but still, I think those are completely different things. DVD says TJ VAR stands for Video Assistant Referee. Oh, okay. They kind of have that now in the NFL, right? They have that. Centerfold's $5 sticker. Let me see. So let me go to my fan funding here. Yes, Sandy, there it is. I guess I missed it. Thank you so much, Sandy. I'm so sorry I missed it. It must have been on really early, and when I got on, some of that. If you do something really early before the show has started, some of that stuff will disappear. Like when I come on, so I didn't see it. So thank you so much, Sandy. Yippee to Sandy. That you got to get a yippee. And there's a thumbs up and a heart. Thank you, Sandy. The $5 super chat from Sandy, and we got from Nolan Carnes, our aficionado in all things, behind the scenes of sports, and Michael McAndrews, who is wont to burn down porches with a $10. So thank you so much for the three. Sandy's isn't showing up in the goal because she put that on there before the show started. But thank you so much, Sandy. I appreciate you. Yeah, I hadn't seen that, so thanks for pointing that out to me. I would have seen it later, I guess, but I didn't see it because when I came on, it had already like fallen away from view. So thank you. Ruben Michaels, the Browns are 4-12, but they beat the Steelers. David Willer says Nicole Sandler's rated. She only had 40 listeners. I wanted to help her out. So wait, you're rating here or you're rating there? Which way are you rating? Let's see, what time is it? Oops. 124. Is she on? I don't know. I think she's just doing a lot of. Isn't she doing a lot of like best ofs or whatever this week? For the holidays. I don't think she's actually live. I think she's just doing like repeating some old shows that she likes. And yeah, Nicole Sandler, she's great. If you guys have a chance to check her out, right here on YouTube, Nicole Sandler. A lot of times we're on at the same time, but that's just the way it goes, Gator Tots is here. Gator Tots says, I voted that you should grow out your beard, John. Well, I'm going to probably shave it, actually. This little scrubby thing. I don't know. I think I'm going to shave it off. I've been wanting to do that. Nola Carter says, why do you think when teams are bad, you don't bet on them when they win? I also know someone who took the bets in Vegas. He had to leave. But hey, a long time ago, some refs have more clout. Okay, so Nola, is it mainly like point shaving, or is it the actual outcome of the which I'm sure could influence the outcome by the point shaving? But is it mainly it's mainly the point shaving, and then they don't really care who actually wins or loses. It's probably that's why they have the point spreads, and it can make a big difference whether a team wins by a touchdown or a field goal. That could be the whole that could make the bet, win or lose. So that could make your bet, a winner or a loser. I'm not trying to say that's any better, point shaving or whatever, but is that the main focus is to beat those spreads but not really care if one team wins or the other one over the other. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I'm making any sense of that. I'm just wondering what the kind of if this is going on. And like I said, I'm not totally naive. I know that cheating and there's been all that kind of stuff has been documented and people have been arrested and over time. I'm not that naive, but I'm just interested, kind of curious again on what the emphasis is. Sandy Folks, that was for your phone fund. Thank you, Sandy. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Nola Carnes, Sugar John, do you want to arm wrestle? Well, we could do an arm wrestling match, and we could take bets, and then like if I was the favorite, let's say, And then just between you and me, you know, wink, wink, nod, nod, I could let you win. And then I would be the favorite. So I would bet on you. Um, and then I guess I would have to split my profits with you, because if you bet on you, I guess you could bet on yourself. I guess, yeah. So no splitting, no splitting. So I would arm wrestle you if we could do that, make a little money out of it. You know? DPD says, TJ, how? Wait, TJ, how your feet looking? Because you might be able to make some extra cash on OnlyFans. Oh, it's legal and it's a job you might check out. There are people who pay to look at feet. My feet, I don't think are very attractive, for one thing. But I just found out I have a cousin. She's cute. She's really cute. Cute little gal. I think she's quite a bit younger than me, just in her early 50s. Very cute little gal. She's always posting these very kind of sexy, kind of provocative photos and videos on Facebook, and she's even gone a little bit too far on Facebook, where she got I think suspended for a little while or something for some of her stuff being a little risque. Anyhow, I was looking through my today. I was catching up on my Facebook, your notices or whatever, and on there for my cousin, it was like she had a link to her OnlyFans page, and I was just like, oh my, oh my! I'm like, what are you doing, Annie? Oh my God, Annie, what are you doing on OnlyFans? Because I've seen some of your stuff on Facebook, and it's been pretty kind of risque. So I can only imagine what she's doing on OnlyFans. I did not join her OnlyFans. I do not care to see my little cousin in anything more risque than whatever Facebook would allow. But speaking of OnlyFans, since you brought it up, yeah, my little cousin, she's a cute little blonde. I mean, I'm gonna, she's a cute little cutie, but she's in her 50s, early 50s, and she's on OnlyFans. So like, just to kind of verifies it, it checks, checks of what you were saying, that people have OnlyFans, and you know, and you never know what they're gonna pay to look at. But yeah, my feet are not very attractive, and I guess unless you're really into unattractive feet, maybe, I don't know. Gator Sauce says, "Don't blame you. Beards are high maintenance." I don't really, as you can tell, even this scraggly little shit that I have on now doesn't really look that great. My beard it's uneven, it's patchy, it's not very good. Ruben Michaels, Pete Rose, yeah, they caught his ass, didn't they? James Armino, Nola Carnes, he doesn't have a chance against you. JK, just couldn't to both of you. Well, like I said, we might be able to work something out. Nola Carnes, I used to arm wrestle and make bets in the bar. Some guys would cry. Well, there you go. Hey, there's Vizantha Elf. Vizantha Elf is here. Hey, Vizantha, good to see you. Thanks for coming on in. Vizantha says, hi, Susie Jones. How you got 2 phones and a tablet, Susie Jones? Nola Cart's point shaving. Yeah, so it's all about the point shaving. So in other words, a team that then I think that might indicate to me that that's more of a coach being bought off. That maybe instead of going for 7, they go for a field goal, or instead of going for a field goal, they go for 7 or go for a touchdown. That might be a coach that's being paid off or bought off or whatever. Adam West says, I signed up 2 for OnlyFans, but I decided not to do it. Well, what were you gonna do? Like dick pics and shit? I mean, what do you is that what you got to do? Go on there and to make money on there, I guess. Gator Tots, I could see you with a Phil. Oh, I would give. I don't know what I would give, but Philip Ittner has a beautiful fucking beard. Beautiful, thick, gorgeous beard. I could never. My beard is patchy and scraggly, and yeah. I could only be so lucky to have a Phil Ittner beard. I mean that thing is glorious. Phil Ittner's beard, it's magnificent. Yeah, that's a beard that is made of dreams. It's a dream. It's a dreamy beard. I could never do that, unfortunately. Damon, is this Damon Dog? Damon 4427, or is this a different Damon? Anyhow, Damon says, "Hey Trucker John, YouTube just auto-played your live stream. The algorithm works." What do you mean it? What do you mean it auto-played? Are you just coming from Hal? Because I believe either Aaron or Andrea had something to do with that, of doing getting the raid, where they have a thing where they can. I think they have a thing where they can have it raid to another channel that they put in there. Yeah, Jolie says Philip Ittner's beard is epic. Absolutely epic, magnificent, glorious. The thing that dreams are made of. I could only be so lucky to have a beard like that. Adam Wesh says, yeah, jack off videos, etc. Yeah, I mean, unless it's going to give you like really high six figures and more, then I don't know if I would do it. But hey, man, there are people on there, mainly young ladies, but I'm probably guys too, that I have been able to buy multi-million-dollar homes because of their jacking off on OnlyFans and shit like that. So I'm not going to judge. Hey, times are tough, man. If it's going to get you a house and a nice car, jack away. David Willer, chicks don't like beards. Well, that might not be true. Jolie, beard of dreams. Yes, it's a magnificent beard. It really, truly is. If for no other reason, we should all be watching Philip Ittner, his channel, Living on the Edge, which every time I hear that, I think of Aerosmith. I'm living on the edge. Sorry if I yelled into the mic, by the way. I do that. I'm sorry. But it should be like living on the edge. But he has I think a very beautiful Ukrainian orchestra or something for his theme music, which is appropriate because he's been over in there since the war started in Ukraine. If for no other reason, though, we should be checking out the beautiful beard of Philip Ittner, giving him show lots and lots of love. Everyone should be liking, subscribing, and viewing everything Phil Ittner, by the way. So I'm glad we brought up Philip Ittner because he was on House Sparks the other day, and he was wondering if he could even keep his show going. He has a show that he does right here on YouTube. Maybe we can get the link to it, one of my beautiful mods. The link to the Phil Ittner Life on the Edge, Living on the Edge, whatever it's called, because not only does he have great guests, he's reporting and doing stories from Ukraine. He's been there since the beginning of the war. This man should have 6 million views. If whatever Midas Touch has, Philip Ittner should have double that, in my opinion. And if for no other reason, go there for the beard. Maybe go there for the beard. Come here for the beard. No, go there for the beard, and stay for the great content. So yeah, let's all please, if you want to be really do me proud. If you guys want to do me proud, at some point go to Phil Ittner, like and subscribe to his channel. Subscriptions are free. Cannot emphasize that enough. Subscriptions are free. Go to his channel, subscribe, hit the notification button, and everything that he puts out, watch it. And in the comment, just comment a few words like, "Hey man, I agree. I appreciate you being there and for all that you do in Ukraine." Just put something more than just a couple words. It's best if you have like a full, complete sentence of 7 or 8 words, and just say, "Hey Phil, really love what you're doing. Appreciate you." Whatever. The man deserves it. He's been out there. He's under bomb threats. The electricity goes out. They're rationing electricity, and they have the sirens go off for the when the missiles are coming in. He's under that shit. So everything Phil Ittner, you guys need to go over there and give him a like, a subscribe, share the show, comment, everything, the whole 9 yards, guys. The whole 9 yards. I'm glad we brought up Phil Ittner and his beautiful beard, because he has a beautiful show. And he's doing some beautiful things over there. So please give your support and your love over to Phil Ittner and his show. Please, 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 please. 69 watching. I want 69 of you to go over there and do it. I have 4,250 subscribers. I want all 4,250 of you, if you ever stumble upon this part of the show. In fact, I might cut this out and clip it out. I want all 4,250 of you to go over to Phil Ittner and like his show, subscribe to his show, and then watch the damn thing. Okay? Okay. All righty then. Elizabeth Fernandez is here. Hey, Liz, good to see you. Thanks for coming in. Diane Russell, the elder, is here, as I would like to call her, respectfully. Thanks, Diane, for being here. I appreciate you. Diane mods, I think, for Nicole and for Brett and Randy when Randy was on, Randy Rhodes, but all that stuff. So thanks, Diane. I do appreciate you coming in and hanging out with us for a bit. Aaron West, says, I know a guy who does feet porn. Was he able to buy a new house with that? On that? That's what we all want to know. Hey, I'll do feet porn if it'll get me a new house. I'll do all the feet porn you want, man. I ain't so proud, but I ain't gonna do it if it's all it's gonna do is not pay anything. I'll do foot porn if it'll get me a new house in Big Bear. Okay, there. That's my price. Everyone says everyone has a price. That's my price. A new, relatively, your basic 3-bedroom, 2-bath cabin in Big Bear, California, or Big Bear Lake, or Big Bear City, or somewhere in the mountain communities. If foot porn will get me there, I'll do all the fucking foot porn you want, baby. Hell yeah. Hell fucking yeah. Hell to the yeah. Thank you, Jolie. Phil Ittner, YouTube. There's the link. Go over there. You can go there and come back if you want. Go over there. Give him a like. Give him a subscribe. That's the main thing. Subscribe. It's free. He should be getting 71 new subscribers right this instant. And then come back, please. Like him, subscribe to him, watch him. Even if you're just falling in love with the beard, even if that's it, just do it. Diane Russell says she posted that her last 2 scans were negative for cancer, Adam. They've been using immunotherapy to kill the cancer cells. I did see that it was a week or so ago. I was just wondering, I haven't heard from Randy Rhodes. I haven't seen her post anything. I've heard nothing. And I was thinking to myself, I hope that's not a bad sign, I hope that's not a bad sign. I was getting worried. And then she did post that, what Diane just referred to there, about how these treatments seem to be working. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, she did use the term cancer-free, I think. Because I wrote, I responded to it. I said, that's great news, Randy. I'm so glad to hear that, because I was worried. I hadn't heard from you in a while. So great news for Randy Rhodes. I hope it's all good. I hope she is cancer-free. I hope, I hope those therapies are working, and I can't wait till she's back on the full road to recovery. Whether or not she ever does another show again, she might not. I mean, I don't know. During her show is very, it's kind of taxing. It's kind of she might not really feel like doing it, and I don't blame her. But I just want her to be healthy and live, for many, many more years, long and healthy life for Randy Rose. She deserves it. She's a good person. I think she's a really good person. So I'm glad any good news we get from about Randy, it just warms my heart. Jolie says, we haven't done our Christmas yet at Johnny Cat's. Hope yours was good. Oh, that's right. Jolie has a weird Christmas thing. I don't know. The Jolie family, they got this weird Christmas thing. I don't even know. I don't even think Christmas is really Christmas unless it's on the 25th. I don't know what it is you're doing over there, Jolie. But happy and merry, whatever that is. I hope you have a really good time. I think it's just called a party. It's what we call a party. If it's not on the 25th and it's a big family get together, we call it a family get together. Diane Russell, yes, Slava Ukraini. This is a Ukrainian table, by the way. No, it's not. I don't know what it is. What else do I have to show? Speaking of memes and such, I've been seeing all these mainly on, is it Substack? That I see these? This kind of meme about the radical left scum. I must have missed something. Was that something that Trump must have called the radical left scum or something? It must have been one of his texts. But it seems like it's only on Substack or maybe it's Threads, but where I just see all these people talking about, hey, I'm the radical left scum. Everyone's doing that thing, and so I guess I am too. I guess I'm a proud member of the radical left scum. But I somehow I missed whatever it was that they're referring to. But I suspect it is something that Trump said, and so everyone's like, yeah, count me in. I'm in the radical left scum. Fuck you, type of a deal. So I got that little meme up there. Michael McAndrew is kind of snowing here. Looks like Michael's getting dumped on with snow. So I hope you've got all your supplies and your fireplace going, and you can just cozy in and drink, as Adam LeWoo would say, a piping hot caffeinated beverage, and just stay warm. Luck Dragon Phil is a beast. Adam Wesh, can anyone tell me what happened to Randy Rhoads? Well, wasn't Diane just talking about that, Adam Wesh? Yeah, she came down with cancer, I believe lung cancer or something, and then she's been undergoing treatments for these last several months. And she posted something that sounded like very good news. It sounded like it worked, and I like I said, I believe she used the term cancer free. So hopefully it is. Hopefully hopefully she is. Gator Tots says Phil's shows are every Sunday, so you can watch them when they drop on Sunday. You can catch them on replays. That's the great thing about YouTube and these forums. You can watch them at your convenience. But make sure you watch them and give them lots of love. And by loves, I mean likes and subscribing and sharing and all that good stuff. Susie Jones, sorry, listening to NBC live at the same time. All right, be that way, Susie Jones. Be that way. Diane Russell says Mona on Brett's show today posted that. Randy's message that she put out like a week ago, I guess. David Winter, did Randy go to Central AM? Do you mean Central Time? David, she has not. She stopped doing her show to undergo her cancer treatments, and in place of that, her, I guess you could call him producer or whatever. Brett, if you remember Brett, he was the guy in the background. He would help with the show and help with taking phone calls and all that kind of stuff. He's been doing the show kind of in place of her, and it's called Brett Breaks Things. While Randy's been out, because she's been undergoing cancer treatments. But I believe we got some really good positive news on that for Randy. Jolie says the Jolie family marches to the beat of our own drummer. It's Christmas when we decide it's Christmas. God damn, I'm going to add the God damn it. All righty, Jolie. All righty. Simmer down. Simmer down. Diane Russell said the spirit of Christmas should be year round. Yeah, Jolie. Anna Moore, I just subscribed. Thank you, Anna Moore. Thank you for going over there, giving Philip Ittner some love. I would really hate it if he felt that he couldn't continue on because there weren't enough people watching or whatever. So go ahead and give him a like. Check out the show. I don't think you're gonna be disappointed. He's a really good journalist. He's a professional. The guy has worked with CNN and I think even Fox News at one point. I mean, he's been around. He's covered wars. He's been embedded in, I think, the Gulf War and all that kind of stuff. I mean, this guy's the real deal. He's much more of a real deal than I am. I'm just an old truck driver just sitting here doing wacky things. I'm talking about glorious beards and lovely, magnificent beards, which reminds me of someone. Reminds me of someone. That's your cue. Oh yes, caught me off guard there. I was watching some foot porn on OnlyFans. Sorry, guy. Hey, whoa. I've said too much. What were you talking about, Trucker John? Beards? Something about beards? Yeah, I've seen Philip. His beard's pretty nice. Yeah, I'm kind of a little partial to more of a purplish tint maybe, but yeah, his is right up there. He's got a good one. Not as fine as mine and sparkly and as mine is, but yeah, he's got a nice beard. I'd say, yeah. I would say it was pretty nice. Okay. You know who doesn't have a beard? Tough Cookie, because that would just be gross, right? Am I right? Now it might be a good way of not getting eaten, I guess. Maybe I should think about growing out the old beard, because I am constantly under fear. You never know. Some asshole might go, look at that yummy cookie, and then the next thing you know, I'm being dipped in milk and chomped on. Maybe I should grow out a beard. I don't know. Something to think about. I guess something to think about. Maybe. I don't know. Who knows? Yeah, that's something to think about, Tough Cookie. I would definitely think about that if I were you. I would definitely think about that, Tough Cookie. That might be a good way to go. A good strategy, as one might say. Anyhow, we are getting towards the end of the show. Yeah, there's Jolie with Brett Breaks Things. There's the link to that. You want to check it out. You can say hi to Brett. And maybe even via Brett, say hi to Randy. Let everyone know that you're thinking about her. All that good stuff. Oh, Dave Willard, Randy was going to move to Central America. No, she did move to Costa Rica. That was a long time ago, right? Was Costa Rica? That was when she actually went off the air back in 20 whatever it was. I don't know, 2012 or 2014. I don't know. Time ago. She actually went off the air for a few years and was living in Costa Rica. She did get cancer then, but I don't. She didn't leave. I think she got the cancer after. I think she just burned out and decided to quit for a while. And then she did get I think she got cancer then, and I think she beat that then. And now but then she came back on the air. I think right after Trump won the first time, and then she's like, "I better get back on the air because they're gonna need me." But anyhow, yeah, it was a whole thing. But she moved back to Florida when she did that. When she came back on the air, or back to doing her show, that she moved back. So I think she lived in Costa Rica. Is it Costa Rica, right? For about 3 years, and then she came back to the States. And she's, as far as I know, she's still in Florida. But I don't keep up. I don't know everything about Randy Rose. As far as I know, she's still in Florida. I don't know. Mad Mac, look out of TJ's window. There's snow. Oh. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Look at all the snow we got back there. Yeah, Diane says Randy has Substack. That's where I heard I guess the thing that Randy posted was on Substack. Diane says Randy sold her place in Costa Rica. Am I saying it wrong? Brooklyn. Hey, Brooklyn. Where you been, Brooklyn? How you doing, Brooklyn? Good to see you. Thanks for coming on in. Brooklyn says, hi, my lovely trucklers. Thanks for coming on in. Have I talked about everything? Because we've gone well over 2.5 hours. And I should probably end the show and do some things I got to do. And let you fine folks go on your way, go onto your day and do whatever you're going to do. Today's Monday, so we'll be back tomorrow at 9 a.m. Pacific time. I'm planning on doing that, and then Wednesday we'll do a show for our New Year's Eve day. Maybe I'll do maybe a year in review. Maybe on Wednesday we'll do the year in review. That will be the last day of the year, right? So look for that, the year in review on Wednesday at I guess we'll do that at 11 a.m. Pacific time. And then I am planning on driving the cab on New Year's Eve. I think it might be a bit lucrative for me, so I think I'm going to do that for sure. Since I'm under this new plan, this new thing, I don't know about live streaming. I don't know about that. But who knows? Maybe we could live stream a little bit on the cab. But that's all up in the air, so I don't know. But I do see Nola Carnes with a $5, our bookie, Nola Carnes with a $5 super chat. Yippee! Thank you so much, Nola. I appreciate you. 5 for the purple beard. Thanks so much. There's a thumbs up and a heart for you. Appreciate that. Diana Russell, Costa Rica. I think it's Rica, but don't go by me. Don't trust me. But thank you guys so much. Sunny folks, you're lucky you don't have snow. I like snow, but I've only lived in areas where basically when we do get snow, it's gone sometimes the next day or maybe in a couple days. I've very rarely where I've lived has the snow stayed around for too long. We've had a few freak snowstorms in my lifetime. We're in the desert where we actually got dumped on like 10, 11 inches of snow. And then that stayed around for, a few days or a week or whatever. But usually our snows, even, if we get 2 or 3 inches and it's gone the next day or 2 days, I've never been in a place like Buffalo or Niagara Falls or, Michigan, Minnesota, all those places where you guys can get literally buried. Now, my son, who lives in the mountains in Southern California, when this is a few years ago, about 3 years ago or so, they did get buried. They had the mountains, and they get snow. They have ski resorts up there, and they usually get snow. But this snow that they got was a total freaky thing where they got so much snow that they could not see their cars. It was taller than their cars. Their cars were completely buried in snow. And they were trapped in their houses. Like the snow plows weren't getting in there, and they were actually trapped in their house for like a month. But fortunately, they had enough food and water and provisions, and they were able to get through it. Anyhow, yeah, thank you, Nola. And again, just looking at the fan funding, we had Sandy Foltz with the $5 super chat, Nola Carnes $10 super chat, Michael McAndrews $10 super chat, and Nola Carnes rounding things out here with a $5 super chat. Thank you so much. Yippies going out to all you y'alls. Thanks for that, and thanks everyone for all y'all for being here, liking, subscribing, sharing, commenting, all that good stuff. I appreciate you for being here. And we'll see you again tomorrow at 9 a.m. Pacific time. Aaron West, I have to take my car in tomorrow morning. 4th cylinder misfire, hoping it's just spark plugs. Yeah, hopefully. Hopefully it's not, your rings or anything like that. All right, guys. I guess that's it for now. Again, these things are acting slow today, but here we go. There we go. Thank you guys very much. Please, if you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so. It's free. It doesn't cost you a dime to subscribe. And then let everyone else know to come here and subscribe. We're at 4,250. We're on our way to 4,500, folks. We're on our way to 4,500. Let's keep it going. Keep it growing. That's what she said. And again, thank you guys so much for being here. All that really is left to do is the words of wisdom. We got to do some words of wisdom. Let me go ahead and see about, we can take that down, I think. Yeah, there we go. So get the pen and paper out. I just like to copy these down because they are sometimes they're very good. People say they're very good. They love the words of the wisdoms. So maybe write this down. I don't know why I'm doing some sort of strange accents. I don't even know what this accent, the origin would be. I don't know the origin of the country this accent would be. I have no idea. What am I doing right now? I think there's something channeling through me right now from some unknown place. It's an unknown place. I don't know even what it's about. I don't know what this thing's about. All right, guys, are you guys ready for the words of wisdom? Okay, so for today's words of wisdom, since we're in the holiday season, here we are. They are going to be about
Well, it's time to say goodbye. The show has come to an end. But don't be sad, no, don't you cry. We're all gonna come back and meet again. We'll have some fun times, hopefully nothing too bad. We might talk about war crimes. talk about Baghdad. I doubt we'll talk about door chimes. But if we did, I'd be only too glad. So I style of Easter, baby. The show is over, but could I ask you maybe to take a shower? No, that's not what I meant, but I couldn't think of anything to rhyme with over. Now my whole rhyming scheme is all screwed up. Oh shit, I should have stuck to truck driving, who I try to kid. At least when I was out there driving, I could handle a skid. But doing this live stream, baby, has been a real kid. So I hope to see y'all again right here on the Trucker John live stream. We're gonna do it again and again, right here in the Trucker John live stream. Yeah, the Trucker John live stream. We're gonna come back and do it all again. No, this ain't no dream. This is where we win, right here on the Trucker John live stream. No, this time to say goodbye. The show is coming in. Don't be sad, no, don't you cry. We're all gonna come back and meet again.
Rolling down the highway in my rusty old rig. I'm a retired trucker, but my spirit's still big. Living in Vegas, where the lights never sleep. Broadcasting my thoughts for the world to keep. From politics to pop culture, I've got it all. Sharing my views, no matter how big or small. Talking about food, the movies and bugs. Shining a light on all the social issues. No shows, I've driven through the desert, seen the city so bright. But now I'm living in a different kind of fight. From my apartment in Las Vegas, I hold the key, exploring the world through my live stream for free. I'm my apartment in Las Vegas, I hold the key, exploring the world through my live stream for free.
So you want to take a trip down Paradise Road, but it ain't that pretty, it ain't paved with gold. Everybody's got the dirty little secrets, everybody's got some things unknown. But if you ain't real careful, baby, it'll cut you down to the bone. Under all those bright lights, you've gotta learn to ignore the glitter. It's all about fight or flight, and you don't wanna do either. So go on down to Paradise Road, it'll make you wish that you were young. But all it'll do is make you feel
just one big game, and it ain't about love. It's all about the thrills. It's about staying in the hunt. It's about going in for the kill. So head on down to Paradise Road. That's where your friends are now. They're the people that nobody knows. So go ahead and make your big show. So live it up on Paradise Road. Just don't let anyone know. It'll be your dirty little secret. It'll be your guilty little pleasure. Living a secret that the whole world sees, hiding in plain sight among the scum and the thieves. So damn hard to ever be pleased. Everyone wants to live the good life. Everybody wants a piece of paradise. But where would you run? Where would you hide? What would you do to buy a little more time? Grandiose dreams of happily ever after are really just another day's end. And when the sun goes down, you just lay there wondering, can you really do it all again? You're praying for one last shot. You're hoping for one last big win. Paradise Road is calling, so you better hurry along. Paradise Road is calling, so you better hurry along.
Show's over. I'm out of here, folks. Bye.